I got my co-host Kyle. Say what's up.
Let's get this shit going, baby.
What's going on, y'all? It's another day on the Day One podcast. I'm your co-host Anthony. I am rolling solo for the time being. Prayers in chat for our co-host Kyle. I don't know what happened, but I got a text during the week. Something happened in his sleep, apparently. So, some people are grinders in their sleep. Some people are droolers in their sleep, snores, whatever the case may be. Everybody's a mixed bag when it comes to sleep. Somehow, some way, Kyle grinded too hard in his sleep, and from what it seems like to me, he broke his jaw. So he can't talk. He is on medication to see if it'll get better. If not, he's gonna have surgery. But right now, he's kind of like banded up by the head. So yeah, prayers up in chat to our co-host Kyle. Get better soon, brother. This is the prime month for our content. Can't have bro out now, bro. It should have happened a month ago. Just as we were getting back, NFL preseason played today. We got Team USA that, the Olympics have been a movie. All sports and all cylinders. And, Kyle, he's on IR. he's on the pup list. So yeah, prayers in chat for Kyle. Hopefully you come back soon, brother, or at the very least, be on the pod. Whether you're using AI to transcribe your thoughts or just writing on a notepad and getting your thoughts down that way so we can decipher what to talk about. Because listen, we all know, like, I'm cool, but I'm not as cool as when Kyle's here and we get to have the discourse. You get one half of me. You got to get the other half in Kyle to really set the tone. So, yeah, it is what it is. Again, prayers in chat for Kyle. So, yeah. So yeah, we got quite a few things to talk about. I'm not going to keep this too long. As you know, I like to keep it brief, when it's just a solo run. So before we get into our docket, drop a like, subscribe as always, leave a comment what you want to see us talk about, make a video about. We are for the people. So whatever you want, you let us know. And we'll make it happen. That's what we do. So yeah, drop a like, subscribe, all that stuff. Hit the bell so you don't miss a single video. You're not going to want to miss it. NFL season is right around the corner. NBA is going to come back pretty soon. Baseball's heating up. NASCAR playoffs is going to heat up real soon. Some small news to talk about with that. Now, you know what? Let's open with that. Actually, yeah, we'll open with that. We'll make that really brief. So NASCAR and the MLB are partnering for a Bristol series of baseball. I want to say it is the Atlanta Braves and the Chicago Cubs, the Cincinnati Reds. Pardon me for fact checking. I believe that was the two teams. NASCAR. This was yesterday. Yep. Braves and the Reds will be playing inside of Bristol Motor Speedway April 2nd, 2025. Um, as a NASCAR fan, I love it. It brings more eyes onto the sport, and that's really all you need, especially, when you're not as tippity top of the sports um, you know, hierarchy as you once were. Um, it's great, like I said, for publicity. It's going to be interesting to see how the game goes and all that, but it's going to be, they're going to drop a field in the infield from the looks of it. And yeah, we're going to sit the whole Bristol Motor Speedway to a certain extent and have a baseball game. It's kind of like when there was some talks about the NFL or college football doing a game at Daytona on the trioval grass right on the front stretch. That was interesting. Um, Not sure if that's ever going to happen, but that is what reminds me of this, and this is actually happening. For the MLB, great, marketing thing for it. It's great for both sports. Get the fan bases of both sports intertwined. I'm sure a lot already are, but it's all about getting the reach to grow the sports. I think it kind of benefits NASCAR a little bit more in the sense that um, you know they're on the upswing and they're trying to capture as much of an audience as possible. And using their venue might have people think, "Hey, let's see what this NASCAR thing's all about." So I think it's a good thing. Um, we will definitely cover it as more info comes out. But yeah, that was a cool find. Um, let's talk about Team USA. I wasn't even gonna do a pod today, but after I watched the fourth quarter of the gold medal game, and I didn't even watch the whole game, but I watched the second half to see what that team did with all the pressure, particularly Steph Curry in the fourth quarter. If you know, you know. There was never a doubt. There was never a doubt. The USA beat France in the gold medal game. They did it. They did it. LeBron won the MVP of the Olympics for men's basketball. Rightfully so. Um, LeBron has been, the driving force of Team USA from the jump, and you've kind of seen, and this team has been so talented. You've seen, you know, a myriad of guys step up in big moments, and some guys take back seats, and it's really been like anything that you could possibly think of. But the big contributors have been LeBron, KD, Joel Embiid, Steph Curry, Anthony Davis too. Um, those guys have been the driving forces, and they got it done. Um, Serbia, they took care of business against Serbia. That was a little frisky at the end there, but to come back in the fourth quarter from double digits and get the win, that lets you know right there that there was no like it was inevitable for Team USA. There was no dropping games. That there was not. They were determined to get the gold, bring it home, and that's what happened. And you saw it in Steph Curry's frenzy at the end of the game to seal it. I mean, like 4 threes in 2 minutes, just back and forth. Nick Batum hit one. Steph comes down the court, does his thing, gets open, bang, they come back down. So another one of the France players, I don't know who it was, but he hit a three, and Steph came back down, got a shot, bang, hit it again, and then I think the one that really just kind of, you know, cemented it in the brain that Team USA was winning this by any means was the last one, the heave. Double teamed off the dribble, just chucked it up, fading away at the right wing. Bang. And Steph Curry was like, "You don't got to worry about me. This is my shit." He was on fire. And Team USA needed it. They needed it. You saw at times in throughout the Olympics that sure, we have more talent than everybody else, but we don't have a lick of chemistry like some of these teams like France do. France has been playing together for years. Same thing with Serbia. All of these, like, Middle Eastern European countries, and those guys play with that's the same team for ages, for generations. Team USA, we don't operate that way. Obviously, we don't. They're all NBA stars, and they're more, they're more used to playing with their guys on their team. So then when you take all of those guys and pool them together, the stars, it's tough to, get them all on a team and get them with, get some good team chemistry going. That's the common misconception. And we're kind of guilty of that on this show. I would say we are definitely guilty of that. Thinking, yeah, we're going to trot everybody out there, and it's not going to matter about chemistry or scheme or whatnot. And, we're just going to beat the shit out of everybody. We had some games like that for sure. But I think the first South Sudan game in the exhibition round, opened everybody's eyes like, hey, we can't just out talent everybody. We can, but not only talent. Talent will take you so far. So I commend, LeBron and KD and all the veteran leaders on this team for getting the guys locked in to get the job done. It's a big deal. 5th straight gold medal for the men's basketball team, and you love to see it. As all things should be. Team USA, the best in basketball, like Donald Trump says, the best basketball country in the history of basketball countries. Yeah, so shout out to men's basketball. Women's basketball, they're on the way as well. They potentially could be winning themselves a gold medal as well. And, the country needs it because we need to get more gold medals than China, because China we're neck and neck for first. So USA and China are both dominating the Olympics in terms of gold medals. So we gotta beat that ass, And the political scheme, they're beating our ass. We got to get something, okay? We got to beat their ass in sports. We got to beat their ass in sports. What was crazy though when watching the Olympics? Some of the things that are Olympic sports, like table tennis. You wouldn't think table tennis is a sport, but that shit is intense. The gold medal match was China on China crime. That was the most electric game of ping pong I've ever seen. Ping pong, table tennis. You wouldn't think it's an Olympic sport, but they're going at it. They got strategy, and you can see it playing out as you're watching it. That's the beauty of the Olympics. You watch these sports that you don't know what the hell's going on, and you'll learn about them, and then you understand and become fans and appreciate the sport. That's what's so good about the Olympics. And I'm so glad that flag football is going to be a sport in 2028. I might try to make an Olympic run. Who knows? I'm way past that. If this was an Olympic sport maybe like 10 years ago, I probably would make a legit run, but yeah, that won't be happening. One can dream. But yeah, table tennis being a sport was crazy. You would almost think a sport like darts should be an Olympic sport, but it's not. Why can't we get cornhole to be an Olympic sport? It's broadcast on ESPN. What about poker? World Series poker. Can't poker be an Olympic sport? No, can't be. What else is a fun little game that could be an Olympic sport if table tennis is? Pool. Why can't pool be an Olympic sport? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's these sports that you just wonder, like, how in the world is this an Olympic sport? And why isn't something that is very similar not? Um, I don't know. Make it make sense. I mean, the Olympic Committee did just approve esports to be an Olympic sport. So that's cool. If they ever have Olympic iRacing, I'm all over it, even though I'm probably not going to make it. But that would be the only sport that I would have a legit shot to call myself an Olympic athlete for. So yeah, I mean, we'll see, but yeah, that'll be fun if that really happens. But we'll see. But yeah, the Olympics. Shout out to the Olympics. It's a great event. Obviously, brings the world together in sport, and that's the only thing really that brings people together is sports. So it's a beautiful event, and shout out men's basketball for bringing the gold home. You'll love to see it. All right, let's get into some football. Preseason is back, and a lot has been going on. A lot of people have looked good. A lot of people have not looked good. And teams, getting their feet wet. The rookies obviously getting their first taste of NFL football. The quarterbacks, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, looking good in their preseason debuts. Although I will say, and Kyle's not here to defend Caleb Williams, so I love that I get to make this a narrative. I saw a highlight that the NFL posted that they were kind of glazing Caleb Williams, and it was like a shuffle pass from the line of scrimmage. He was obviously getting pressured, which good for him to get the ball out. Little shuffle pass to DeAndre Swift, and Swift takes it like 45 yards down into the red zone, and that was on the NFL page as like holy shit, Caleb Williams making plays. I was like, bro, Justin Fields did the same thing in preseason 2 years ago. Nobody gave a shit. So he did have another good throw on the run to Cole Kmet. But yeah, I mean, preseason, take it with a grain of salt. It is what it is. But I'm glad that football's back. We are all glad that football's back. And yeah, let's talk about my Eagles, shall we? Our game last night was quite quite the game, I will say. We took care of business 16-13 against the Baltimore Ravens, effectively ending another dynasty that being the Ravens preseason dynasty. So mark that up. Patriots dynasty ended with us. Ravens preseason dynasty ended with us. And the Chiefs dynasty will end with us in February. I'm just kidding. So interesting kind of game. We were supposed to see the starters on offense, and for whatever reason, they got pulled the last second. And I was kind of pissed about it because, we have heard all offseason about the effect that Vic Fangio has had on this team, with his old school mentality of coaching. He's like, I want to see my guys in preseason. And we were all excited because it sounded like, yeah, so the defense, most of the starters are going to be playing. And most of the offensive starters are going to be playing for a series. A series. That's all I wanted, bro. You look at all the other teams around the league. CJ Stroud against Pittsburgh making plays. Jordan Love today making plays. You got the rookies obviously getting their feet wet in the NFL. But you have the Chiefs. They always play in the preseason. Mahomes makes plays. They make plays in the preseason. They get the rust out. And I was so excited to finally, the starters are going to play a series. They're going to get their feet wet. We're going to see what the offense kind of looks like. And for whatever reason, they decided, we're just going to pull them. We're going to take them out. You're not going to see them. I don't know what it is. You need to get these guys acclimated to game situations. Joint practice is cool, but it's just not the same as in the stadium playing the game. It's not the same. And once we go to Brazil against a team that they are playing in the preseason, getting their shit right, if we go to Brazil and look like asses, Nick Sirianni's ass is mine. Pause. Because we can't have the offense not being on the same page and clicking come week 1. So I was happy that, we were going to play the starters. And I was happy that the defensive starters played, even though it was a little shaky at times, especially in the run game. But we will talk about that in a second. I was happy to see the offense. I'm glad I got to see the defense, but I wanted to see the offense. I wanted to see them work through the offense. Because we saw at the open practice, and we've heard about it all at training camp. And to be fair, they did look very sharp at open practice. Like, very sharp. So, I don't know. I would have liked to see. They need to play at least one game in the preseason. Got to play at least. They got to give me one. Give me one, please. I cannot watch Kenny Pickett for like 3 quarters, bro. I can't do it. I don't know why they don't just play like a quarter. That's what the preseason is for. That's what it's for, bro. Get the rust out. I'm glad that Vic Fangio has the idea for the defense because they really did need the work. Let's talk about it. Some things I liked, some things I did not like. So I will start with pretty much chronologically what I saw happen yesterday as it came up. Let's talk about this run defense. I don't know who the hell the running back was for Baltimore. And obviously it's not the starters. This isn't Derrick Henry, bro. This isn't Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. It's some dude. I don't know who his name was. First play of the game. Or at least I think on defense, I believe. I think we got the ball to start. I don't really remember. But first play for the defense. like a 15-yard run up right up the gut. Mind you, we had Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis starting in the interior with Zach Bond and Devin White as our linebackers. First play of the game, I'm like, oh my God, we are in for a long year, bro. It was bad. And then the second play, we got caught in the flat. They checked it down to the running back or whatever. Just nobody within like a 10-yard radius of the flat. And we get gashed again. I don't know if it was miscommunication or a bad call on Vic's part or what. Something happened. This is going to be a problem all year. I hope not. I really hope not. And I've said it throughout the offseason that, this run defense is a little bit of a concern for me. They did not do anything to assure me that it is going to be okay. We talk about what does Howie need to add to this team. I've been saying it. I think he needs to add interior line help. A lot of people say, "Oh, we need to add a safety, and we need to add another edge rusher." I don't think so. I think we need another interior lineman because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to trust Moro with Jomo, bro. He's a good young guy, but like I don't know if I'm gonna be able to trust him. I don't know. Milton Williams, I know he's gonna step up. He's the most consistent guy on the defensive line. Jalen Carter, he's gonna look good. He redeemed it. He had a batted down pass at the line of scrimmage. It's a good heads up play by him. He's gonna look good. Jordan Davis, I need you to step up, bro. I need you to step up. We all need you to step up. And he knows it too. But I really think that we need another interior lineman. Because I don't think outside of those three in Davis, Carter, and Milt, I don't know if there's a guy that really like makes a difference, if you want to be honest. I don't. I think we need, I wanted us to go get Calais Campbell. That obviously didn't work out. Maybe we trade for a guy. I don't know. And linebacker too. I do not know what Vic Fangio sees in Zach Bond. I'm sorry, bro. I am sorry. I don't know what he sees because, like, we need linebackers that are going to set the tone. And when you watch the second quarter with Nakobe Dean and Jeremiah Trotter, those guys were flying around and setting the tone and making plays. Devin White, he looked all right. He didn't do anything crazy, but I didn't really expect them to. But Zach Bond, he looked a little bit out of position, and not what I had expected to see. So I mean that second linebacker spot to me is still wide open. Like I said, I don't know what Vic sees, bro. Coverage wise, he didn't look great. In the run support, he was not great at all. I mean, Nakobe Dean had a better game than him, and Nakobe Dean got a lot of reps, especially in the second quarter and third quarter. But the guy that really looked good out of those guys, Jeremiah Trotter, bro. Trot looked amazing. He was making plays left and right. Wasn't missing any tackles. He was a sure tackler. He got a sack. Dude was making plays. And he was quick too. Like, he's fast. I really do believe that he's gonna at some point he will be starting. I really do believe he will be starting at some point. He was good in coverage. He see ball, get ball. He makes tackles. So I think coverage wise, he's going to look a little bit better. And I also thought it was interesting. You saw the edge guys start to drop a little bit in coverage. Jalix Hunt was dropping back in coverage quite a bit. He got a lot of playing time. He got a little bit with the ones too to start the game. Thought it was interesting, but he looked good too. Very fast and versatile. He put his hand in the dirt, rushed the passer. He got there a couple times to change some plays and drop back in coverage a couple times. He looked good. Nolan Smith had a nice play. Talking about edge guys, Nolan Smith had a nice play off the edge. Fast, off the ball, sack. Love it. Love it. That's what I love to see right there. We need that. We absolutely need that. But yeah, I mean, I'm worried about the linebackers, bro. I really am. I don't really know what Vic Fangio sees in Zach Bond because all I was seeing was, a barbecue chicken. Barbecue chicken. And, as a unit, as a linebacker unit, you think about, Devin White and Zach Bond and all these other guys. For the guys that are on the field, you are only as good as your weakest link. So how I see it, Devin White might not have flashed off the screen. That's because Zach Bond was ass. And then you look at Nakobe Dean and Jeremiah Trotter, they were both making plays. But they were making plays because Nakobe Dean was making plays. He's fighting for his playing time. And to be honest, I mean, he looked a little bit better in coverage, and he was like really, really pursuing the ball, or whoever had the ball. The blitz too. I like that Vic was blitzing the linebackers because they were blitzing very good. Nakobe Dean especially. He had a play where he was back in coverage and he came on the blitz screaming through the hole, and the running back chipped him, like flipped him sideways, and he just barely kept the balance just enough to get to the quarterback to change the throw. He got pressure on the quarterback after being flipped up in the air by the running back, doing a little chip block. If that's the Nakobe Dean we're getting, I'm excited. He excelled in Georgia, especially in the blitz and the run support, and we've seen that. He's not the greatest in coverage, but he's good in the run support and blitzing. All of these linebackers are good blitzing. We need Vic to do that. And with the secondary, he has the secondary to be able to, hold up if he's going to send a linebacker. What I thought was interesting is he sent Quinyon Mitchell on a corner blitz, from the slot. Only problem is Josh Johnson broke contain, but I liked that he was willing to give him different looks and blitz from wherever. Speaking of Q looked really good. Quinyon Mitchell did not disappoint. He almost had a pick, a couple PBUs. Quinyon Mitchell looked really good, and so did Keely Ringo. Keely Ringo was getting thrown to all night, and from what I saw, he only really let up one reception, but that was because it was elite ball placement, back shoulder. Couldn't really do anything about it, but he was blanketed all over whoever it was. Keely Ringo looked amazing. If he looked like that, how good does Isaiah Rodgers look? Because he really didn't get a lot of run, but he also didn't have people throw his way a lot either. So that's the only thing. If Keely Ringo looks that good, and right now Isaiah Rodgers is getting more run in practice, how good is Isaiah Rodgers, bro? We didn't really see a lot of him, but I know we know what we've seen from Isaiah Rogers, or what we've heard and seen at the open practice. So that's promising, especially for the future of the secondary, because we need it. Slay's not going to be here next year. Who knows? We might not give Isaiah Rogers a deal, but we need it. We need it for sure. So I'm glad to see that the young guys are looking good. Q looked really good. I'm excited to see him grow and progress, and the safeties as well. Not really much out of there. I mean, you saw James Bradbury getting a little bit of playing time. You saw him, he was down in the box some. He was, obviously playing roamer safety, dime linebacker. Um, I think it's safe to say that he's going to be on this roster as that second string safety, which is fine. It's fine with me. I was always one that was willing to die on the hill that, James Bradbury still has something left in the tank, and it just needs the right guy to get it out of him. And, you know, the more he's on this roster, the more Vic Fangio is going to make sure that he gets him on the field somehow. Because say what you want, and casual Philly fans might hate me for it, but James Bradbury is still a pretty good NFL player. He might not be good outside corner like press man, like Keely Ringo press man. Lock him up in the back seat. Put that seatbelt on. But that's just not James Bradbury. He's just not that fast. He's more of a zone guy. So if anybody's gonna get it out of him, it's Vic. So I'm pulling for him. I don't know what the rest of Philly wants, but I know what I want. But yeah, I mean, the defense. I mean, they in the red zone they stood tall. It was more of a bend don't break, which is you know Jim Schwartz esque. You saw more man, a lot of mix up, some zone. Um, to me, it looked like when we were playing zone, we got cooked a lot more. But I mean, that's what zone's gonna do. It's conservative, so NFL quarterbacks are going to break it down. So, but when we put those corners, these young players in situations where it's mano y mano, and they looked good. So I'm pretty pleased with those guys. I just worry about the linebackers, like I said, and the run defense, because we have our starting interior guys in, and some bum off the street torches us for like 15 yards on the opening play. I'm sorry, bro. What are we doing? What are we doing? Big Hurt. Clint Hurt. Let's go, bro. Lock in. I don't know. And then offensively, like I said, we didn't really see a lot of the guys, but Kellen Moore was mixing things up. He had some misdirections. He was calling a good game. I gotta say, mixing it up. We relied on the run game a lot because I mean, the run game. We got a lot of good young backs, so I would say they're a little bit more deeper than the receiving core. So it looked like we were getting them more involved, but there's a legit battle at running back number 2, and you saw it. Kenny Gainwell got snaps, and he looked really good. And then Will Shipley got snaps, and he looked really good. There is a legit battle going on for running back number 2. I am drop dead serious. This is a legit battle. Kenny Gainwell's looked good in camp. I've been one at times to be a Kenny Gainwell hater, but he has looked good in camp. He's come out, he's made plays, and he looked very good to last night. Hitting holes and hitting them with force. Will Shipley as well. Will Shipley is a physical runner. He seeks contact, and he's got wheels. A lot of people are saying, it reminds them of Danny Woodhead. I think Nick Sirianni said it reminded him of Danny Woodhead, Will Shipley. And when you see him play, he's kind of right. He's kind of right. And, Danny Woodhead walked so Will Shipley could run. I really hope he has a role on this team. It was good to see him get a touchdown there at the beginning of the game. And that was a hell of a play call by Kellen Moore. And you had him like what 2-3 tight end bunch on the left side, and a little bootleg with Will Shipley lurking out in the flat. Nobody's over there. Easy touchdown. So you got to see a little bit of the RPOs, Kellen Moore's influence as well, and like the under center stuff and the play action. This is exactly what the doctor ordered for the offense, and I cannot wait to see what the first team offense looks like in a game situation. Because I mean, we watched fucking Austin Watkins, Joseph Ngata, bums, guys that aren't going to be on the team. So I could care less. But when AJ Brown, Devontae Smith are out there with Saquon Barkley and Dallas Goedert and the boys, you better believe, best believe, believe me, please, we are going to be a unit. So it's all as far as we go as Jalen goes at this point. So as quick as he's able to, get a rhythm and acclimated to this offense, we're gonna go. So I don't know. Maybe they're keeping that because they don't want people to see. But I'm telling you, bro, it's a lot better to get it out of the way, get some run in preseason. That's literally what it's for. To get used to game shape. So I don't know. It drives me nuts that Nick Sirianni doesn't want to do that, but whatever. What else was there? What else happened? I mean, the end of the game was kind of crazy. Jake Elliott missed a game-winning field goal. And then for whatever reason, the Baltimore Ravens tried to win it. Patrick Johnson came in like BG, strip sack. Eagles recover, give Jake a redo, and he kicks the game-winning field goal, sends the Ravens home packing for the first time in like 15 years in the preseason. Shout out the boys. Love to see it. But yeah, I mean, I'm cautiously optimistic about the defense. Obviously, it wasn't 100% of the starters, but we saw a lot of the starters that we're gonna see week 1. And I don't know, bro. 20-20 is gonna be scary, especially if you're playing with some against some good QBs, which we are this year. I don't know, bro. I will say the red zone defense was, they locked up down there, so that's promising. But again, it is preseason. You have to take it with a grain of salt. So, we all want the instant gratification, but it's going to take time. Like I said many times, it's going to take these guys time to get acclimated and stuff. So, hopefully we see some improvement, especially at that other linebacker spot. I'm not really too worried about Devin White, but Zach Bond got to step the fuck up, because what the film that Kobe Dean and especially Jeremiah Trotter put out last night, I would be, I'd be worried. I would be worried if I was Zach Bond, because he did not look great at all, and those two did. Those two as a unit played very well. But yeah. So yeah, that was Eagles preseason. We are a couple weeks away from the regular season, and I will be down at the watch party rooting on the Birds in the link. So that'll be a lot of fun. That is 4 weeks from yesterday. So yeah. we are fast approaching the NFL season. So I don't really have much on the Jets. I did see them cook Emmanuel Forbes, so that was cool. Shout out to Kyle and the Jets. And let's talk a little bit to end this out on some overall NFL news that we really haven't touched on, just because we haven't been live. Jerry Jones said he's not in a rush to pay CeeDee Lamb. Why? I don't know. Why would you not be in a rush to pay this guy? CeeDee Lamb might reset the market, or at the very least get what Justin Jefferson's worth. Because as much as I like to clown on the Cowboys, CeeDee Lamb is the number one wide receiver. He has stepped up and proved that he is. And you need to pay that man because he is your offense, bro. Dallas is they're at a crossroads, and for them, because they, obviously they still want to compete, they need a guy like CeeDee Lamb on the field. And historically, they end up paying those guys, but if this goes into the season where it's like week 1, he's not playing because he's still holding out, it's going to be a problem. And you're going to see it because outside of him, they have literally nobody. Nobody. Jake Ferguson's cool, but he's not the savior. He's not gonna do it for you. The defense ain't gonna do it for you either. Dan Quinn left. They took it to Washington. Washington's gonna be the second best team in the NFC East. I'm telling you right now. They're gonna leapfrog Dallas. And yeah, Jerry Jones, please live to 195 so the Cowboys can always do shit like this, please. It's just, thank God for a man like Jerry Jones, Sleepy Jerry, as Lord Brunson says, Sleepy Jerry. They asked him, why have you not paid CeeDee Lamb yet? And he pretty much said, I don't know. He's like, I graduated high school and college. I don't know. You tell me. What? It's a yes or no question. Pay him or not. I would pay him. You have to. Yeah, they're in a world of shit. Thank God. San Francisco, a lot of Brandon Ayuk action going on. So the Niners and the Browns had a deal in place for Brandon Ayuk to go to Cleveland in exchange for Amari Cooper, a second and a fifth. And the deal was done, but Brandon Ayuk didn't want to go to Cleveland. And New England also had an offer in, and they were willing to give him like $33 million. And he didn't want to go to New England because, we all know what's going on over there. What's next? I hear that the Steelers are the only option. They are the last option. It's because it's either that or he stays in San Francisco. I mean, I've said it. I think if you're San Francisco, you get this done because without him, that offense is not the same. Him and Trent Williams, because they haven't got Trent Williams done either, but nobody's talking about it. They are not the same team without Trent Williams. But as a passing game, they are also not the same without Brandon Ayuk. Deebo Samuel's cool, but Brandon Ayuk is really the guy that helps stretch out the field. He was number 1 in yards per catch last year. And you saw how dynamic that offense was. I mean, with Christian McCaffrey and then Brandon Ayuk eating. You need that. You need that. When you look at the NFC East, I mean, you look at the Eagles, not being biased or anything, but I mean, you look at the weapons that they have. Detroit, although they don't have the receivers like Eagles and Niners have at the moment, but yeah, the Rams, Cooper Kupp, Puka, Kyron Williams. You need guys that are gonna stretch the field and keep the defense honest. And without Brandon Ayuk, they're a different team because, listen, with all due respect, Jawan Jennings is not doing it. He's not doing it. Ricky Purcell isn't doing it either as a rookie. So yeah, they got to get a deal done. We'll see what Pittsburgh offers. If they're able to land Brandon Ayuk, they become an interesting team in the AFC. Because as of now, they're kind of like, they're a little frisky on the bubble wild card type of team. They have a good defense. Their offense is a big question mark. They got the Russell Wilson, Justin Fields thing going on. They have George Pickens, Freiermuth, the two backs, and Harris and Jalen Warren. But that second wide receiver spot is kind of a dud, if you want to ask me. But if they land Brandon Ayuk, that's a team right there. And the offensive line also is also good. That is vastly improved. So if you land a guy like Ayuk, you got yourself a pretty nice squad right there, I'll say. And Mike Tomlin number 2 make for some good memes as it already has. But yeah, as an Eagles fan, I'd like to see it. Except we play the Steelers this year, so it wouldn't be as much of a pushover game. But yeah, if the Niners can't keep them, it just makes the NFC more wide open and gives the Eagles a better chance at getting the 1 seed. But I still believe that their biggest competition is going to be Detroit, although they've kind of been battered around with injuries and they got their own issues going on down up in Detroit. But they're going to be a good team this year. So it's just less teams in the pot, please. Just let the Eagles have the easiest road. 2022 really did it for me, bro, because it was just such stress-free football that I don't think we're ever going to see again. Or we might. We'll see. It just depends how good Saquon Barkley is. But it was just crazy to like we have teams done with in the second quarter. And it was nice. We want to get back to that. So we'll see. But preseason heating up, NFL season right around the corner. I think that's a show. I think that's it. We're nearing the hour mark. So we'll get up out of here. This has been the Day One Podcast. Feel free to drop a like on your way out. If you're watching on the rerun, drop a like, comment, subscribe, ding the notification bell so you don't miss a video. We are going to be locked in this NFL season. Please believe. We are just under a month away from NFL football. And with that, we got some things planned. We obviously, we have our schedule prediction stream. That'll be, in a couple weeks. Still working on that. Still working on getting some special guests to join us to go over the NFL season and talk some Eagles. So we will see. We'll keep working to get you guys the best content, but please hit the like, subscribe. It's free. It don't cost a thing. It does good with the algorithm to get us out there to your friends. So tell a friend to tell a friend, whether you're on a boat, bus, plane, you can catch the Day One Podcast content anywhere. So like Kyle says, go to your local Sprint Mobile, get your Cricket Wireless, get your $70 a month phone, whatever. Get your ass some kind of internet connection and watch our content. So yeah. That is the show. Thank you for watching. We will see you in the next one. Peace.